Hey everyone, Hassan here, and I got another Power Rangers Super Megaforce review for you today. Finally, here it is, the last wave of 5-inch figures for Power Rangers Super Megaforce. This is wave 6, and so we're rounding up the team. We're getting the last, I guess the last one Red Ranger in a way, well, kind of 2 Red Rangers, and then the other 6 Rangers that we have that are going to release. So in this wave, this has got a lot of the fan favorites, and this is kind of one of the harder waves to find. Like, you got Titanium Ranger, right? The U.S. original figure right there, rather American original. You got Zeo Gold is a big favorite, Omega. I mean, there's a bunch of good stuff in this line. So let's get right to it. I'm just going to kind of show you all the packaging here. So first up, you got the Zeo Gold Ranger. So great looking figure, and you got your Zeo logo right there, Zeo Gold Ranger Action Hero. They're all called Action Heroes. All the packaging has your typical Super Megaforce logo and Red Ranger right there. UPC on the bottom, and all the little, I think it's got like a coupon for $5 off the Megazord, the Ranger Key pack list, and other pictures of toys. And they all have a bio on the back, so this actually shows you some of the other figures that you can get, some of which are in this wave, which I'm reviewing right now, and some are in previous waves, which I've already reviewed, so check that out. Here's the bio for the Zeo Gold Ranger. So it mentions Trey as well as Jason becoming the Gold Ranger. And it actually lists both of them there. I don't know why they didn't do that in the previous wave for the Red Turbo Ranger. They just chose Tommy. They didn't mention TJ at all. So I don't know why they didn't do like a dual thing like that. So who knows? They just apparently really, really like Tommy. That's pretty annoying. But anyways, Zeo Gold, all right. And then from one of my favorite seasons, Power Rangers in Space, we have the Red Ranger. Ooh, this figure looks great. I love the colors on the chest piece there. Really cool. So I'm excited about that one. So in Space, Red Ranger Action Hero. The back shows you the bio as well, talking about Andros being born on KO35 and all the other fun stuff. And there is the information about Andros right there. So pretty cool. I do like the little bios that they included. It's a neat little touch. Especially for kids that may want these Rangers and they might not know about them, you know? But this is actually nice advertisement in a way. It's like, hey, check it out on Netflix too. And I'm sure plenty of families have Netflix and they can go back and watch the old seasons and they'll have the action figures from them. And pretty cool. Now, Titanium Ranger is a very special figure right here because this is obviously one of the original suits that was not on the Super Sentai. So this toy is pretty special for that regard. And you got your bio right there. So there's the bio of the Titanium Ranger. And there is the information. Pretty cool. So Titanium Ranger. Awesome. I'm excited about that one. Then we got the Quantum Ranger from Time Force. One of my, I guess probably my top favorite season. It really is kind of hard to pick, but In Space, Time Force, like those are some of my top seasons, so definitely some great figures in this wave. Yeah, pretty cool. Quantum Ranger. The back, of course, got your bio, talking about Eric being on the Silver Guardians and then becoming the Quantum Ranger. And there's all your information about the Quantum Ranger right there. Pretty cool. Then we have from SPD, the Omega Ranger. All right. Pretty cool. In a way, I feel like, didn't Shadow Ranger come first? I think he did. And then Omega came later. And yet the Omega has the 6 on it, like the V and the I, you know, which in Roman numerals is 6. So I guess he's kind of the 6th Ranger, but oh man, I would have loved a Shadow Ranger figure. Like, could you imagine that? That would be fantastic. So I kind of wish that they had done that, but at the same time, it's really cool to get an Omega figure, and he looks great as well. So SPD Omega Ranger. And here's the bio right there talking about Sam. Special ball of light from the show. And there we go. There's all his information. So there is the Omega Ranger. And last but not least, from Power Rangers Super Samurai, we have the Super Samurai Red Ranger, which is basically just the Red Ranger powered up in super mode, so we have the Super Samurai Red Ranger. But it is interesting because they decided to actually represent that as a separate season, which it is. So I actually do kind of like that. And in a way, you can pretend like One of them is Lauren, even though it doesn't look like Lauren or something. But yeah, anyways, it's still, I guess it's neat though that they did something for Super Samurai to kind of separate it out, since it really is a different season. And so truly, this 5-inch line really does represent all 21 seasons of the show, and that is pretty amazing. So here is the Super Samurai Red Ranger. There's the bio, talking about Jaden right there. Even though he holds a secret he cannot reveal, which is his sister Lauren. Spoilers. There we go. That Lion Zord, I did a review of that Lion Zord, and that thing has over 1 million views, and I am baffled by that. I honestly am. It's pretty crazy, but awesome. So anyways, this is it. This is wave 6 of the 5-inch figures, and I'm excited about it, so let's get right to it. Let's open these up and take a look. All right, here we have wave 6 out of the box, and they all look great. Oh man, look at this. A whole variety of colors, and it's pretty cool. So you know what? Let's just jump right in because I'm excited. I wanna get to these figures. So first up, right in the middle here, we got the In Space Red Ranger. Oh man, this thing looks great. The only other Red Ranger figure I have is from when I was little, and it was like the Battleizer Red Ranger figure. So he's like extremely muscular and looks slightly different than the normal design and stuff. So, but this figure though, it does look good. Here's his weapon, which looks good. Kind of wish it was, you know, painted more though or something. It just doesn't have as much appeal without it. There's the Astro Blaster, right? And again, it looks so odd. I'm so used to it. I have the toy of the Astro Blaster, so it just looks kind of odd without the paint, I guess. But pretty neat. A couple minor little gripes though with this. The dots for the actual, where I guess the screw piece, whatever, to make the joints move, is colored red, and that like really stands out, especially when it's supposed to be white. So I wish they would have made it white, so then it kind of really would blend in. That's one thing there. And then also the actual like black little piece up there just looks a little odd. In fact, it actually looks slightly off center too, which is a little weird. But I feel like, I think it's supposed to have a little bit of color, or a little bit more than just that. I don't know, it just looks slightly odd. But from a distance, I guess, it looks pretty solid, and I really do like the chest piece. I think that looks pretty solid with the different colors and everything. The buckle looks pretty good. Other than that, I mean, it's a pretty simple design. There's not much to it, really, the In Space team, but it looks good, though, you know, in general, aside from those minor little things. This is the most noticeable thing, I think, but even that I'm not too bothered by. It's just kind of a little observance, I guess, something I just noted. But yeah, so pretty cool. We got the Zeo Gold Ranger. Ooh, I know Ranger Crew is a big fan of this design here, and for good reason. It's a really cool looking design. I do love this, and of course Jason being the Ranger only makes it that much better. Pretty cool. You know, weapon right there. I had a couple of the Gold Rangers, actually. I had the giant Gold Ranger that would like kick if you push the button on his back, and I had like the smaller one that rode with the cycle and stuff. But this is by far, I can tell you, the best Gold Ranger figure that I have in terms of the looks, show accuracy, I mean everything about it. This is a solid Gold Ranger figure. I mean, it's really nice. I mean, just look at all the detail. Like if you look at on the arms right there on the cuffs, there's a little bit of design, like detail all the way around. And same with on the actual boots there. There's some design on the boots there, which looks pretty good. The chest piece as well at the top here. There's some nice designs in there. Yeah, I mean, pretty solid. It's not like a super shiny like gold, but I don't think it needs to be. I think it looks pretty solid as is. So I'm very happy with it. I think the helmet also looks pretty awesome. Just very nicely done. And by the way, the articulation for all these figures is basically the same, except for these guys it's kind of hindered because of the shield. But essentially what you got is the helmet rotates around 360 degrees on just about all of these, except maybe this guy here. The arms rotate around, and I'm knocking these guys over now. I'll just move them back a little bit. The arms rotate around. Stay, Titanium, stay. Gosh. The arms rotate around 360 degrees, and they rotate up vertically that much. You do have elbow articulation there, and the entire glove rotates around. It can do the splits, it can kick forward about that much and kick back about that much, knees bend there, and the boots rotate around 360 degrees. That's the same articulation on all of these figures, except if there's certain cases where things prohibit movement, like the shield here. I can't move it as forward as much, or as back is basically the same, but moving it up, I'm restricted. It can't be vertical up because of the shield in the way. So that's just one thing to kind of note. Like, I think this guy's going to be very hindered by articulation there, so do keep that in mind. But still, very solid figure and really nice looking. So definitely one of my favorites out of the 5-inch line for sure. Really good stuff. We got the Quantum Ranger right here, and he's pretty solid looking, really nice. So very similar in design, obviously, to the regular Time Force Ranger, but on the figure itself, like, the small differences really make it stand out. Like the jagged lines on the design and the helmet there really look nice. Yeah, the red and black combo is pretty cool in the figure. You got the morpher right there, the little belt buckle piece there. His weapon, the Q-Rex blaster or whatever it's called, looks pretty solid. It's silver, but it looks pretty solid looking, so pretty cool. So yeah, Quantum Ranger looks pretty awesome. I do like the look of this figure. Really nice stuff. So there he is. We got the Omega Ranger from SPD. This guy looks great. So yeah, the gold they used is nice and shiny. It's not the same kind of gold that's on the Zeo Gold Ranger. This is more of a shinier kind of a gold. So if you kind of compare the two golds together, there's a bit of a difference there. Yeah, I mean, it really stands out. The SPD badge is in gold, and the VI, I mean, that all stands out. Nice, solid. I mean, the gold line goes down there and around there. Even on the back, you got some nice paint and everything there, so they didn't skip out on that. You even got like the SPD badge right there, which looks pretty cool. His morpher and stuff right there. So the helmet piece looks great. The little SPD logo up there. Yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, just a solid figure. I really do like the look of this as well. Good design, and translates well to a figure. No weapon for Omega though, so that's something to keep in mind. He didn't come with anything. I don't remember from the show if what his signature thing was. Didn't he? I think he just used the morpher most of the time and did that super fast like punching thing. So I suppose it kind of makes sense he didn't come with a weapon, but it would have been neat to just give him something. In fact, he doesn't even have any holes on the sides there for any weapons. Nothing on the back. So yeah, I mean, he clearly was designed with the knowledge that he doesn't have those weapons to use, I guess. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, I mean, same articulation before, and just a really good looking figure for sure. Definitely really nice. I love the look like this, like from the side, because then you get like this little piece of the helmet, you get the blue and the white contrast, and I think it just looks awesome, especially the blue, white, blue. Like I love this color scheme here. I think he looks really cool. So really good stuff. I like it. I like it. We got the Super Samurai Red Ranger. So we have a 4-inch one when the Samurai line, the Super Samurai line, was out in stores, but now we have a 5-inch one, and this one looks even better. The 4-inch one compared to this looks kind of smaller a little bit, and just more. This guy looks more mature, if that makes sense. Just proportion-wise, he looks better. The actual weapon here is, oops, the spin sword. It's got the silver blade, but the rest is red right there. It did come with the morpher as well, but it's like the paintbrush there, so it's like the Japanese Shoto phone in a way. But yeah, I mean, otherwise pretty solid figure. The helmet sculpt looks good. It's basically your traditional Red Ranger figure, but they got this jacket over it, which is not removable. So do keep that in mind. This whole thing is all one piece. But it looks good. Some nice gold they used on it. The little symbol there stands out. Even the back of the jacket looks nice too. You got the symbol right there, which looks good. The jacket is very, oops, wow, and his boot just came off. Okay, so that's interesting. Let me try and put his, or not just his boot, his entire foot really. Interesting. Guess it was just loose. So yeah, I mean, now it's on there pretty solid. It was just loose, I guess, in the packaging. The jacket is pretty flexible there, which it feels nice. It's a good material, and that's pretty cool. So in terms of articulation, because of the big jackets, the head only moves left and right that much. The arms move forward about that much, and back that much. And they move upwards there. So there is some bending a little bit there. You have a little bit of leeway, but still not too much. The legs can bend forward, and they can actually bend back a decent amount because the jacket does move a little bit too. And yeah, so the jacket doesn't hinder articulation as much as you would think, especially because probably the shoulder pieces aren't extending out too much, so the arms are really outside of the shoulder piece, kind of. So it actually has pretty good articulation overall. Like, I can really get it to do some, you know, I don't know. The spin sword is kind of loose though. That's one little minor complaint. I can get it to do some sort of a pose like that. So, I mean, still pretty good, you know, not bad actually. And last, but definitely not least, the Titanium Ranger. The Power Rangers original Ranger. Pretty cool. So here's his weapon right here, nice and shiny gold, and some great detail on it as well. So looks pretty cool. Yeah, definitely looks good. The actual Ranger itself, not bad. I will say the gray color they used, or the titanium color, whatever you want to call it, it's really a gray color, and I kind of wish that it was a bit shinier or something in a way, and I think that the gold is nice and shiny, but the way that it is, like on the chest piece, it blends in a bit too much. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want it to pop a bit more. Like, if you look at the picture of the Titanium Ranger here, that gold pops out a lot, and it blends in quite a bit there. So even though they made this like the shinier gold, I kind of wish that they almost didn't and used like this kind of the gold right there, so it'd pop out a bit more. And this gray would have been nice to have a bit more of a shine to it. So it's not my ultimate favorite figure in terms of the paint, but that being said, it's still pretty cool. So you have, you know, the belt buckle there, the helmet looks good. Yeah, so some good stuff there, and it's still pretty good, and I do like the design. I think it's an interesting design for the Ranger, and it's pretty awesome that we have a figure of it again. So it's really neat for those people that you know, kids may not be able to appreciate this figure as much. They may see it in stores, Titanium Ranger, what's that? But like the actual, you know, adult fans will know that this is an American original, and I think that's pretty cool. You know, we got a figure and everything. So, yeah, I mean, overall, pretty solid. And I think it looks good, especially with his weapon and stuff. Just, you know, in a pose like this, like he's ready to take you down with that axe. Like it looks pretty awesome. This is epic right here. I like this. So, definitely some good stuff with these figures. I like it. So that's that. That wraps it up, folks. That is every single 5-inch figure in the Super Megaforce toy line over the course of 6 waves of releases. They are all out right now, and I am very excited about that. So, without further ado, let's jump into an image of every Red Ranger all together. Look at this. Wow, this just looks awesome. It's a sea of red. This is forever red to the extreme. This is every Red Ranger figure that has been released in the 5-inch line, pretty much. And I'll explain. So basically, the only other real figure missing is the armored Mighty Morphin Red, but that was one of the legacy figures that was not released as one of the 5-inch figures. For this little display, by the way, I also cheated a little bit because I actually used the weapons from the armored Mighty Morphin Red Ranger for this Mighty Morphin Ranger because the sword I had was all bent up, and these are actually all painted. And anyways, so I have 21 Red Rangers here, and the way that I did it is I included Quantum Ranger because he was in Forever Red as well, and so that kind of made up for it. And I have regular Samurai, Super Samurai for each of those seasons. So 21 Red Rangers, 21 seasons. You got your Mighty Morphin, which I guess represents season 1 and 2, Alien Ranger, Zeo, Turbo, In Space, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force, both of those, Wild Force, Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, SPD, Mystic Force, Operation Overdrive, Jungle Fury, RPM, Samurai, Super Samurai, Megaforce, Super Megaforce. So I kind of started like most recent and most oldest, and kind of went backwards and went forwards and all mixed together there in a way. So, but it looks really awesome to have all these Red Rangers together. In fact, I'm trying to think of ways in my room somewhere, just have some sort of a display of all these Red Rangers, because just look at that. That looks awesome. So I love it. I think it looks really cool, and it's amazing that they actually did it. We actually have every Red Ranger. Yes. Awesome. I was so worried when this started out. This is so ambitious. They were like, we're going to release every Red Ranger. It's like, no, they're not. There's going to be some that are just going to get skipped. It's going to be terrible. We're not going to have a complete collection. It's going to drive me crazy for the rest of my life. No, it actually happened. We got every Red Ranger. Yes, here it is, guys. We have every Red Ranger. Now, you're going to have to hunt it down. It was not easy getting these. You're going to have to find it at Toys R Us, Walmart, Target, Kmart, Amazon, Walgreens even, actually. I think I got Quantum Ranger at Walgreens. You're gonna have to look around for stuff. This is not gonna be easy, but it's possible. You can get every Red Ranger, and I think that is fantastic. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really happy that I finally have it completed, and this looks amazing to have all the Red Rangers. And I'm excited to add the Dino Charge Red Ranger when that releases, because as long as they stick to the 5-inch figure line, I can keep adding the Red Rangers, and that would be fantastic. Now imagine if they released every single Power Ranger in this line. That's never going to happen, but I can dream, right? I mean, I think that would just be amazing, but that would take up like my entire basement, so I don't know if I'd have a space for that. But anyways, so this is it, folks. So last thing then is I'm going to show you, add in the 6th Rangers that I've released. I'm not going to put in the other Legacy toys. I'll wait until I get my full complete collection of Legacy toys for that, but I'll add in the other 6 Rangers that you can purchase individually as well. So let's take a look at that now. Bum ba da bum 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 ba da bum bum ba 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 da dun 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 dun. Check it out! It's all the 5-inch figures, and I had to move my camera so far away from the table to even get them all to fit in the shot. Yeah, I added like a bunch of the 6 Rangers onto the sides there, and I added the Super Megaforce Rangers in the back there. You can't even like see them, so I'll just kind of levitate the camera there. Yeah, pretty fantastic, pretty amazing. I'm gonna have to figure out a better way to display it, maybe just in like a square instead of like this triangular formation to get it to kind of save space in a way. But this is it, folks. These are all the 5-inch figures that you can purchase. Aside from not counting, I didn't put in Prince Vicar and the X-Borg into the Power Ranger army. And if you're counting Legacy figures, you got Lord Zed, and I still have to get the Mighty Morphin Black, Blue, Yellow, and Pink Rangers. And there's still the Mighty Morphin Armored Red Ranger. So the life of a collector never ends. But in terms of the actual main Super Megaforce toy line, all the 5-inch figures are now complete, done. We have it here, finished, and it is amazing. So that is that. I'm pretty happy about it. I'm really excited. I'm probably just going to leave this on my table here for a while. Even though I have to record a bunch of more reviews, it's just, I don't feel like taking this down. It just looks so cool, so epic. So yeah, pretty awesome. Anyways, that's that. If you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments below. But you can go buy these figures. They're out now, all of them. Go find them, hunt them down, get your own collection, your own legendary battle going, and it'll be pretty epic. So please subscribe. Got lots more reviews on the way. It's going to be crazy. Dino Charge toys are coming very soon. They're popping up in stores, and I'm going to be reviewing them very soon. So get ready. I'm excited. Here they come. And this is Super Megaforce. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.